Okay, folks, got our center board out where we want, and you hear people talk about sneaking up on something, and that's basically what I done. You know, I needed it just a little bit under 2.677, so you can see what I done in increments, just slowly, until I got up to it. But I mean, I'm just a few, you know, a little bit under, half thousandths maybe. I want it to press in, but I don't want it to press in hard enough that, you know, I got to do a lot of forcing on it. Just maybe tap it in, just enough to hold that bearing race. So I've counterbored here, and I wanted to bring it out a little bit farther. I'm out of travel on my boring head. Now there's a way to put the boring bar straight out on this, and we get a short one and try it. See if I can get something set up to where I can just come down, you know, travel down and get it a little bit more. I'd like to get it close to being as thin as this, and but you can see why I've done what I've done on that. Now when the bearing's in there, and I hope you can understand this, I'm going to build a piece that sticks down inside that has a lip on it that I can put some countersink screws in, and I don't know how many, but I mean, I'll go around it, you know, a little ways, and I'll drill and tap them in. And what that's for is to my end play on my crankshaft, and not necessarily the crankshaft itself, but the bearings. And I want the bearing to be seated all the way down, and then I'll measure it and I'll make the piece. And this is sort of cheating because I'm doing this for my own benefit, not necessarily because I need to. I could have put them between the case, you know, like a normal person would do. A normal person that was a good machinist. And, you know, the point is I didn't want to have to take this out and reset it up, and really from doing it from the top side with my abilities, there was no way for me to bore and leave a smaller area up top. Now I could actually go in and cut a snack spring groove in there once I figured out the exact height, but I sort of like the flange a little better, you know, just because it'd be a little easier for me to work with, and I'll be able to adjust it to get it exactly how I want it. So, but anyway, I'm going to go a little bit more on this, and you can see I got this thing filled clear up full of shavings. So that tells you how much, you know, metal or how much aluminum we're taking out. And then I'm going to pull this top cover off. You know, that's why I mounted it on the bottom. And pull this top cover off, and then we're going to go ahead and bore our other bearing side and our seal side. Now, this is taking me a lot of time because I'm going slow because I don't want to mess it up. And trust me, I can mess it up. And I've done it before, and you know, I can make a big mess of things. But you know, like I said, everybody knows I'm definitely not a machinist here. I'm just, you know, winging it. I just play a machinist on YouTube. How about that? I play a fake machinist. But so anyway, we're going to keep at that, and then there's one more thing I wanted to tell you. I'm not sure remember what it was. Well, I guess when I figure it out, I'll come back on and let you know. And now this cover, once I get all this done, I'm going to make a wooden cover back to the woodwork, and we're going to have a place that's a little thicker for our cam bosses, or our cam pins that come up, because they're going to come into the cover. We'll probably use the same style screws as we use on this shim plate. It's going to be a, you know, a small countersink screw, flathead probably. Don't want to use Phillips because I don't think they come out with Phillips turned in. And I did do some checking on square-headed bolts, and you know, they was using hexagon bolts in the Civil War. They was sort of mixing between the two. So, you know, anytime after that, most of the stuff didn't have square-headed bolts. Let me see. Another thing. You would think with this bearing boss being out that it would give me problems with my cams. But if you center this where it goes and where the cam's at, I've got plenty of clearance. I may have to maybe carve into our boss, you know, our piece that comes around here, or I don't know what you want to call it, our retainer. Or I may bring the retainer out and machine it instead of just turning it completely out on the lathe on the outside. Bring it out and actually let the pin sit through the actual retainer, and then go into the block. And that would help hold the retainer, but it would also help hold our cam, you know, going through a piece of metal, you know, just something thin. But we'll figure that out as we go. I mean, that's not a big deal. Just some of those things while I'm sitting here machining that I think about, you know, hey, is it going to fit? Well, of course I checked it and it did. You know, some things you miss when you're you know, building this in your head. That's one of the good reasons, you know, I'm sure that most normal people build it on paper, but I can't do that. I wish I could, I just can't do it. So anyway, we're gonna see if we can get a boring bar in there, and I'll show you. Okay folks, that worked. Put it in long ways. I don't know what you could actually do with that boring bar. I think it's only like a 3-inch max, but we probably went a little farther than that. But anyway, we're good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the top cover and get started on the bottom. Alright, here's what we machined out of the other one. That's a bunch. But the bearing goes in really good. I can't go in all the way because the rod will hit the case, because, you know, we still gotta machine the top, but fits like a glove. I mean, just, I couldn't ask for better. Taps in, you know, it was tight, but it wasn't too tight, so it's gonna be perfect. This side is anyway, so we'll see if I can get the other side, and then I'll be happy anyway. Alright, let me get at it. Okay folks, so I'm going to show you something. Can't tell nobody, but I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, well, I know it's not going to matter, but it bothers me. You know, it's not going to bother anything to do with the bike, but at least until I get the pulley made to put on it. You can see, you know, this is centered, but I think what I'd done was when I ran through the other cover, the bit I had wasn't going in the collet right, and it was moving a little bit, and I think it was just a drill bit. I drilled through the other side first and got the center on that that bearing boss that was on it, and I come back through this one, and then I bored this one first. So now I'm going back up through where the bearing boss is, and I'm off a little bit, as you can see. Now, I'm not off far, but I'm off enough to bother me. I don't know whether I can measure this worth of crap or not, but probably not. You know, if I was guessing, I'm probably, well, I don't know. I guess would be a 1/16 or less I'm over. And the only thing it's going to affect is, well, you know, we're going to do our compression height anyway from the top of this. I got to machine it, so that's not going to matter. You know, if the crank's moved up or down just a little bit, that makes no difference. The only thing that is really going to affect is the looks of the bearing or the seal in the boss. Now, once I get the pulley done and get it on it, you're not going to see it anyway. But it's going to bother me the whole thing, so I figured I'd show you anyway. And, you know, there's really nothing I can do about it now. It's too late. You know, we got to bore it where it's at. We've got no choice about that. So anyway, I just wanted to show you, and kind of bothers me, but you know, it is what it is. So all right, good enough for who it's for, I guess. All right, let me get back at it. Okay, I got my hole all the way through. Now I'm going to set my boring bar back up. We'll bore this hole the size of the seal, and then I'll counterbore up top of it the size of the bearing, and I think we'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to call it a night. It's late. It's been dark for quite a while now, so it's probably 10:30, 11, I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to call this a video, and we'll be back on it. We'll get it, and you know, I'm not going to let that little bit of offset bother me. All right, appreciate you watching. Bye.